There are times in life when it seems like we're being tossed like driftwood in the waves, and times when it feels like we're being sucked under into the ominous darkness by the undertow of life. Well, hello and welcome. A good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you're joining me here on Elijah Miles The Journey. I just want to tell you I'm really grateful. I'm so grateful that you could join me here. This has been an amazing process, kind of doing all this delving into the topic of mental health. And the response has been overwhelming, which touches my heart, because that is what I'm doing here. And that is all I'm doing here, is just trying to shine some light, start some conversations, and start some healing. If I can help one person, then I've done what I've come to do. So this is the third installment, or the third episode of our conversation on mental health. Let's heal. Let's get unstuck. Just a brief, quick recap. The first week I just kind of delved into my experience with being suffering from 2 years of depression, with acceptance of myself, being gay, having grown up in a Christian environment, and just the journey to self-love and accepting myself when I didn't think anybody else would just accept me as I was or love me as I was, which was extremely traumatic. Then an abusive relationship, and then moving forward into both my father and my dad within the same year, within a couple months of each other. My father was murdered, and my father was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. And also traumatic experience, having both grandparents on my mother's side pass away early and young, having to turn off machines, just a lot of things. Relationships come and go, but things leave you in a certain place and condition, and unless you're healed and fully loving yourself, you sit in a place feeling broken and feeling like trapped and feeling like you don't know where to go or how to move on or how to go on. You just feel like you're drowning, and you just sit and you meditate and you see the light, and you know that you want to make a change, but you don't know how. Or you haven't hit bottom and you're not ready. So my purpose here today is to, in a way, plant some seeds, throw some light. I'd love to throw life preservers. So maybe in this show and in this episode and in the past few episodes, it's my desire to throw a life raft or throw a life preserver so that it wakes some of us up. Maybe you need a wake-up call. Maybe even at the very least, I plant a seed that grows. Because at the very end of the day, my friends, we have to make the choice to choose ourselves. And in doing so, heal ourselves. We have to save ourselves. Nobody else is going to do it for us. We have to make the choice that we want to change. You know, in a previous episode, I talked about driving backwards. So many of us in our life are facing backwards, focused and locked in and caught up in the past and in who we were. Instead of, we need to make a shift. We need an inner shift in ourselves. We need a shift to look forward at who we are and who we want and need to be. We need an inward shift, turn to look, because we're so stuck on who we were that we can't become who we need to be and who we want to be. So I came across this the other day. Open your heart, open your ears, and check this out.
The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer. I had hit my version of rock bottom. I'm in Inglewood, living off Arborvitae. I'm on government assistance, and I run out of money, and I had to buy Pampers for Jelani. And I had $11.42 in the bank. And I remember wrapping my son in a towel for 2 days. You know, someone said, because when I tell the story, I always get teary-eyed. And someone said, do you fabricate the tears because you've told the story so much? No, I'm a mama. Every time I tell the story, I feel it again. I remember the second day, like you said, I had my hand on Jelani's stomach, and I said, don't worry, baby. Mommy will never be this broke or broken again. And that day, what shifted for me was I was willing, and I don't know if this is going to sound crazy, I was willing to completely die to any form of me that I had been, so that I can birth the woman that I was becoming. I was willing to let go of everything and everybody. See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You're trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you got to rescue you first. I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them. I'm much more valuable to them now. But I had to go through a window time of 10 years of judgment. You leaving us, hanging out with white people all the time. You going to these crazy countries. We don't know what you... I had to be willing to allow my conviction to make me inconvenienced. See, we want to grow, but we want to stay liked by everybody. I was willing to be my own rescue at the risk of your approval. But most of us aren't like that. Facebook is an example. We want to be liked. Well, I woke up and I like myself today, so your like is extra. My job is to like me first. I was willing to say every day, Lisa, you like you? Lisa, are you proud of you? Lisa, are you playing full out? Every day before I checked in with anybody else.
Wow. I hope that touched you in the way that it touched me when I first saw it. The message went straight to the depths of my being, to the core of my heart. So many people are stuck and can't become who they want to be because they are attached to who they used to be. And this is just, my whole intent is to throw a lifeline, to throw a life preserver, if you will, to help people in at least the message, to get unstuck, to help plant that seed and have that shift, to begin the shift, to at least shine some light, because here's the thing. There's so much pain. People with so much pain, so much hurt, so much anger, waiting, sitting, stuck, waiting to be rescued, waiting for someone to come and say, I'm sorry, waiting for people to change something that they did, to admit what they did. Please. The only thing that we can do is take that step to release, to save ourselves. I can shine light. I can throw a life preserver. But you have to do the work. I have to do the work in my life. We have to reach out and grab that life preserver. There's some work involved. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have to have that desire, that want. Like she was saying in that little piece, you have to get to the point where you realize what you're doing and how you're going about it and how you're doing it isn't working for you. That's the way I've always done it. I have so many people say that, and it's so frustrating because then I hear them complaining and moaning about their situation and how they're stuck. You got to make a change. You got to change your behavior. You got to change your view and your vision. Stop looking back. The past has already been lived. And when we live back there, we're looking at a frozen scene that can't be changed. I feel in my heart that I've got to just reach out and say to someone needs this message, because I wish somebody had said this message to me. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to let go. Let go of who you were. That might be scary. Change is scary. But aren't you tired of where you are? Tired of what you're doing? I've been there. I get it, and I know it. I just want to kind of give that virtual hug because I know the brokenness and the hurt and the anger and the pain that you just feel at times. You just want to rip it out. And so I see so many medicating. People medicate with drugs and alcohol or sex or food or behaviors. It takes the strength to reach out and say, I need help. I need help. So I just want to be here as a support to change the message and change the conversation that saying I need help is the deepest love for yourself and the deepest and biggest strength. And there is no shame in that. Because that, my friends, is saving yourself. Saving yourself from that downward spiral, from drowning. It will save your life. And it starts, like I spoke last week, with simple steps. I know when you're in that overwhelming current that's sucking you down into that darkness where you just don't feel like there's anything more. Like you can't breathe, you can't see anything other than the shit of where you are or what has happened to you. My friends, we gotta turn around and look forward. And you know, there's times in life when looking up and seeing Mount Everest is overwhelming and makes you want to throw your hands up and say, there's no way I'm getting over that mountain. I just want to encourage you to look down and see your 2 feet and take one step at a time. No matter how simple, no matter how seemingly ridiculous, from making your bed one time in the morning. Do it again the next day. Repeat, repeat. See, what people forget is, or don't know, is that when you're in the midst of depression and darkness, you don't want to move and you're stuck and you don't want to even come out of your room. Little successes start adding up to big successes. And here's another thing that I don't think people realize, is that everything is connected and everything is related. And in saying that, when you're in that place, your broken heart, your torn apart heart, your thinking in your brain, your physical body are all connected. They do not and never will act independently. One affects the other. So those who don't understand, when you're depressed, it makes you sick in your body, sick in your head. And little successes, step by step, by step, by step, leads us to salvation, saving ourselves from the position and the crap that we're in. You know what I'm saying. So start with making your bed. Start with something as simple as a shower. Something as simple as opening the curtains every day. One walk around one block. People might be rolling their eyes and I don't care. I want to help someone. And if you've been saved and you've saved yourself, turn around and help someone else. That's what we need, a community that is telling people it's okay, because nobody's okay. There's points in everybody's life where they're not okay. So, what's the answer here? 3 words. I need help. That may be the only strength you have. And there are people with their arms outstretched, ready and waiting, who it's their life's work and their heart's passion to help. And I promise you, when you reach out and grab that life preserver, you save yourself. Not going to sugarcoat it. It takes work. And it's scary. And it calls for change. We have to change. We can't remain who we are to become who we want to be. So, I don't want to drone on and bore you, but I'm just inspired and my heart aches because I see so many people stuck and complaining. But it's like this veil over the eyes that they don't see that they have to make a change. And they're stuck looking at something that's not going to change. The past. Time is not going to wait for you to make up your mind. Time moves on. It's already moved past that moment back there. You have to let go and you have to forgive. For you. For you, for you, for you, because you're the only one that's going to do this. For you, because you are important to yourself. You have to love yourself enough to say, I need help. It's strength, it's love. Quite frankly, it's amazing. It means you matter, and your life matters to you. And you know there's better, and you want better. At the very least, you want something more, you want something better. Get it. And here's how. Yep, you guessed it. I'm not done. I'm inspired, and quite frankly, I'm gonna keep on going until this burden in my heart gets out. So join me next week when we talk about who to reach out to, how, where, and how much. We're going to do away with the excuses of time, money, and distance. Also, join me in following weeks. There has been such an outpouring for these series of videos that some have even requested to come in and join me in front of the camera on Elijah Miles' The Journey to talk about mental health. It's gonna be good. Don't miss it. And don't forget to subscribe and share.